East Central. You know, I've been doing that wonderful show every Saturday in our 26th year from 11 a.m. until noon. AAA East Central does a lot of amazing trips, including Italy. Well, guess who just booked a trip? He and his lovely bride. They were in Italy, and now he's here to tell you all about it. Was it everything that they said it would be?
It was more, actually. So I have Italian heritage, and so
Fillipponi's Italian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you believe that? It's
yeah,
not
right.
Scottish.
Go figure.
So when I was growing up, grandmother's stories.
Yeah.
I always wanted to go back there. You pick up all the Italian slang. You grow up going to church with all people that either are first generation or second generation Italians. So I've had it in my head to go back there for 25 years. And so this was a quarter century in the making for me, and it still blew my expectations out of the water.
So food, scenery, rustic thatch roofed houses, brick streets, cobblestone streets. I mean, was it romantic?
Oh yeah. I mean, the whole trip. The trip was a combination of relaxation when we were down in the southern coast of Italy. You're right on the sea. We were in Sorrento, Amalfi, those places, and clear waters. You could see the bottom, beautiful. And then we also did the tourist stops of Venice and Rome, and we went and saw the Vatican and
nice.
Florence, and so
some wine.
Yeah, to me it was a perfect vacation because there were days where we could just kind of relax on the beach and not have to worry about doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But then there were days where you've read a history book or you've looked at things like the Sistine Chapel your entire life and Colosseum, and then you're inside of it. So that kind of tactile, wow, like I'm not looking at a photograph anymore, I'm actually in this location was stunning for me. It was an eye-opener.
You imagine,
breathtaking.
In closing, you imagine if you were a sports announcer back during the days of the Gladiator, your commentary could have been deadly.
Well, I've asked Cook about those days. He covered
Stop it. I didn't say it wrong.
He's covered games at the Coliseum.
No, don't say it.
The Oakland Coliseum.
Right.
The LA Coliseum.
Only because my friends who have Italian heritage love the World Cup. They're not in the World Cup. Did you get any sense of the disappointment over there?
Man? Not the disappointment, but it's hard when you're in Europe to not feel compelled to get into it. When we would go out, because you got to realize it's a 6-hour time difference, so the games are 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
We'd walk up and down the streets of these cities that I'm talking about, and like people from the 1950s and 1960s like to talk about, if you were walking around the neighborhood in Oakland, you could walk up a street and you'd hear the Pirates game house to house, people listening on the front porch.
Mm-hmm.
It was that way in Italy, where you would walk, you'd walk up a street and every restaurant or bar would have the game out. So you could just, while you're walking up the street, my wife would want to window shop and go into these places, and I would just have my head looking at the soccer games.
Go!
Yeah.
All right, the great Andrew Fillipponi. I've taken enough of his time. Please don't miss him Monday through Friday with the legendary Ron Cook, and he is a legend, on 93.7 The Fan.